The debate about the Speaker's actions have moved from an observation of chaos last night to apologies, and then also to concerns about security. Listen to the exchange which has just taken place today in the House of Commons.
Well, the Honourable Lady has made her point extremely well. On those debates, whether they were on storm overflows or free school meals, when members on this side of the House faced very unfair slurs and intimidation, what we did not do was ask that the procedures of this House are upended and put pressure on a decent man in the Speaker's chair to change those processes. That is because it is at the heart of our party that we put the interests of this country first. And one of those interests is that democracy in this place is protected.
Stephen Flynn, Leader of the SNP.
Mr. Speaker, last evening we saw the best of this House and its ability to debate, and we also saw the worst of this House as it descended into farce. And I think I speak for everyone in the chamber just now, and indeed yesterday, when I expressed my deep sorrow that that was able to happen, given the content of what it was we were debating. Nevertheless, Mr. Speaker, it descended into farce because of a decision that you made, and you alone made, to ignore the advice that was given to you by the clerks. In doing so, on the opposition day of the Scottish National Party, my colleagues and I were denied the ability to vote on a matter which is of grave concern to us, and which over recent months we have sought to raise in this chamber at every available opportunity. It ultimately turned into a Labour opposition day. That, quite frankly, is not acceptable. And as I have expressed to you privately prior to proceedings here today, we do not, on these benches, therefore believe that you can continue in your role as Speaker. We do not have confidence in your ability to do so. So I would therefore welcome clarity, either from yourself or indeed from the Leader of the House, as to how we can best facilitate a vote in this chamber at the earliest possible occasion to that effect. Thank you.
Leader.
Can I thank the Honourable Gentleman for his question? I hope that he can see in my actions yesterday that I am a servant of this House, and that even though it may not be in the government's interests to do so, narrow interest to do so, I will protect the rights of all minority parties to be able to air their views in this place, and to those parties that are afforded opposition day debates, that they are able to have those debates in the fullest sense and have votes on the motions that they put. We create the rules of this House, and the Speaker serves at our behest. I think, given the range of views that have been expressed on the floor of the House today, many interventions being supportive of the Speaker and pointing out the pressures that were put on him yesterday, that we take time to reflect. Mr. Speaker has said his door is open to all parties and individual members, as is mine. But as I said, the government will listen to this House. I am a servant of this House, and I will do its bidding.
I will also come in at this point. I will reiterate, I made a judgment call that didn't end up in the position where I expected it to. I regret it. I apologise to the SNP. Just bear with me for a moment. I apologise, and I apologise to the House. I made a mistake. We do make mistakes. I own up to mine. I would say that we can have an SO24 to get an immediate debate, because the debate is so important to this House. I will defend every member in this House. Every member matters to me in this House. And it has been said, both sides, I never, ever want to go through a situation where I pick up a phone to find a friend of whatever side has been murdered by terrorists. I also don't want another attack on this House. I was in the chair on that day. I have seen, I have witnessed. I won't share the details, but the details of the things that have been brought to me are absolutely frightening on all members of this House, on all sides. I have a duty of care, and I say that. And if my mistake is looking after members, I am guilty. I am guilty because
have some grace. Have some grace.
I have a duty of care that I will carry out to protect people. It is the protection that led me to make a wrong decision. But what I do not apologise is the risk that's being put on all members at the moment. I had serious meetings yesterday with the police on the issues and threats to politicians, threats heading to an election. And I do not want anything to happen again. So yes, I will apologise. I always will when I make a mistake. I did. I offer an SO24. That is within my gift and power. But I will also say I will do whatever it is to protect anybody in this chamber or anybody who works in this House. That is my duty of care. Andrew Percy.
Mr. Speaker, I was in Israel last week meeting with friends and survivors and hostage families, and I actually felt safer in Israel than I do in this country at this moment in time. And I have two reflections on that visit and on what happened yesterday. First of all, nobody in this House has any business, agency at all in telling the State of Israel where it is able to operate to seek to rescue hostages who are being raped by Islamic terrorists who hold them. Nobody has any business. Secondly, if we have a rerun of the debate we had yesterday, we will have exactly the same thing happen again, which is that members will not vote with their hearts because they are frightened and they are scared. And what do we expect? For months I've been standing up here talking about the people on our streets demanding death to Jews, demanding jihad, demanding intifadas, as the police stand by and allow that to happen. Last night, a genocidal call for from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, was projected onto this building. That message says no Jew is welcome in the state of Israel or in that land. This is going to continue happening because we're not dealing with it. So if we have a rerun of this, can the leader explain to me what will be any different and how will members vote with their hearts and their consciences? Because too many will not at the moment because of the threats we're receiving, threats that telling us to leave this country in some of our cases and telling us that they want us or our families to be subjected to pain and to death.
Leader.
Well, can I thank my honourable friend for raising this? I don't think there is any member of this House that has not come under threats and intimidation and increasingly death threats to them, but also members of their family as well. I know I have had many such threats, and other members have spoken about their experiences on the floor of this House. There are many things that we can do with regard to physical security, and I again thank the House authorities for what they did yesterday. And on the particular matter he raises with regard to the projections put on this building last night, that is being looked at by both the Speaker's Office, Parliamentary Security, the Metropolitan Police and Westminster City Council, who will be responsible for pursuing prosecutions in that case. But I would say again to all members of this House, we are elected here to carry out our duty and to take our responsibilities seriously. It is often a frightening task, but we cannot let this place be and ourselves be change what we think is the right course of action due to those threats. If we do that, they will have won. And they will never win. We have to show courage, and our constituents need us to show courage on these matters. We must vote and do what we think is right.